It is 2000 hours. A warm welcome. This is the main news. My name is Patla Nepurem.
And I'm Joyce Mabika. Nobo Maungwa is on sign language. These are the leading stories tonight. President Emmerson Mnangagwa urges the police to tighten traffic laws following rampant accidents.
While major dams continue to record an increase in water levels owing to the heavy rains that have been received in most parts of the country.
Zimbabwe's economic growth agenda on track owing to price stability. And there is excitement ahead of the start of the Premier Soccer League, and that start is on tomorrow. In our first report, President Emmerson Mnangagwa has urged the Zimbabwe Republic Police to tame the traffic jungle and bring sanity on the country's roads. Well, the president was speaking today at the pass-out parade of graduating police officers at the Zimbabwe Republic Police Mkushi Academy in Harare.
The need for the Zimbabwe Republic Police to tighten enforcement of traffic laws follows rampant accidents in the country's roads, which have claimed lives and left several injured. The accidents have occurred on the country's major highways, which have been blamed on human behavior, while pirate taxis have also wreaked havoc in major cities. Addressing stakeholders at the pass-out parade at ZRP Mkushi Academy in Harare this Thursday, President Mnangagwa, who was the reviewing officer, said the high rate of indiscipline on the country's roads needs a speedy implementation of electronic traffic management system.
The high rate of indiscipline on our roads, which has resulted in the loss of countless lives due to road carnage, is disturbing. More worrisome is the fact that a total of 4,069 people were killed in road traffic accidents in 2024 compared to 2,104 in 2023, reflecting an astonishing 93% increase. The ZRP is challenged to tame the traffic jungle by speedily implementing the electronic traffic management system. I call upon all Zimbabwean citizens to respect the country's traffic laws and cooperate with the law enforcement agencies of our motherland, Zimbabwe.
The head of state emphasized the need to shun all forms of corruption and uphold discipline.
Discipline is a key cog to a security organization such as the Zimbabwe Republic Police, serving as a compass that guides sound actions. As officers in the field, you will encounter all forms and types of temptations that will test your character, your judgment, resolve, and indeed your patriotism to your motherland, Zimbabwe. You must shun corruption by whatever name. The image of the country and indeed of the Zimbabwe Republic Police rests upon your shoulders. Guard it jealously. The challenge of drug and substance abuse threatens to tear apart the fabric of our society and is further fueling the surge of violent crimes, undermining the security of our nation. The ZRP, working in close liaison with other stakeholders, must redouble their efforts to expunge the supply and demand side of the drug cartels.
In modern policing, availability of adequate resources and equipment is critical for the ZRP to fulfill its mandate diligently.
Government is fully aware that adequate human capital and material resources are a prerequisite for the ZRP to fulfill their constitutional mandate. Mindful of this, my administration will ensure that the force is well equipped with the tools of the trade. The recent purchase and handover of 500 vehicles for police operations is a clear testimony of my government's commitment. It is my sincere hope that the vehicles distributed across the country have enhanced the operational capacity of the ZRP. Modern ICT hardware and software are now of critical importance to an effective force. Therefore, government is committed to prioritizing the development of ICT-enabled systems to address challenges and opportunities presented by the ever-changing environment.
The reviewing officer went on to plant a quinine tree, better known in vernacular as Mukashu or Umhlamba Manzi, in the company of Vice President Kembo Moadi and Cabinet Ministers. President Mnangagwa signed off the visitors' book. Bruce Chawanda, SABC News, Harare.
In a related story, it was a colorful ceremony at the Zimbabwe Republic Police Mkushi Training Academy, where more than 900 newly trained police officers graduated this Thursday, marking the completion of their training. Our reporter Fungai Jachi takes us through some of the exciting moments at the pass-out parade.
To kick off the pass-out parade, which was running under the theme Embracing Contemporary Policing in Pursuit of an Upper Middle Income Economy, the reviewing officer, President Emmerson Mnangagwa, inspected the quarter guard and proceeded to inspect the parade mounted by the graduating recruits. It was now time for the newly trained officers to show guests that marching is a skill as they proceeded with the march past slow and quick time. The female graduating recruits represented the women folk well as they displayed the Eagles March. After the spectacular march, the recruits got into drill demonstration, showing precision and uniformity. The 907 recruits took their commitment pledge to uphold their constitutional mandate in the execution of their duties.
I shall execute my duties professionally and shun all forms of corruption and to remain loyal and patriotic to my country, Zimbabwe.
And sometimes, especially for a mother, joy can be overwhelming. Outstanding recruits were honored with Constable Thomas Mhlauli scooping the overall best award. To mark the end, fitness gurus displayed what it means to have skill and strength, much to the delight of the crowd. It's now official. Zimbabwe now has 907 more police officers. Fungai Jachi, SABC News, Harare.
Well, new ambassadors from Cuba and Greece have presented their credentials to President Emmerson Mnangagwa at State House in Harare.
Greece's new representative to Zimbabwe, Her Excellency Anna Farouk, was the first to present her credentials to President Emmerson Mnangagwa this Thursday. Speaking to journalists, Ambassador Farouk said her country is looking at growing ties with Zimbabwe, particularly in the tourism, agriculture and education sectors.
There are many sectors where we could explore opportunities at political and economic level. One of my priorities will be the sector of tourism. Greece, as you know, is a touristic country. Our heavy industry relies on tourism. So there is a lot of expertise there, and we are very, very happy to share it with our friends and partners.
She added that they discussed Zimbabwe-Greece support at the United Nations Security Council and the status of peace and security within the region.
Apart from the bilateral cooperation that we discussed with the President, His Excellency the President, I also took the opportunity to thank him warmly, and Zimbabwe as well, the country of Zimbabwe and the political leadership, for supporting Greece in our election as a non-permanent member in the Security Council for the period 25-26.
Her Excellency Ceres Perez Meza also presented her credentials to President Emmerson Mnangagwa as Cuba's new representative to Zimbabwe. With deep historical ties, Ambassador Meza said, as Zimbabwe and Cuba celebrate 45 years of diplomatic ties, engagements will continue in areas of education, agriculture, science, and technology.
I'm very honored to be the new Cuban ambassador in Zimbabwe. We have a very historical and strong ties, and my task will be to strengthen them. We share a lot of values. We are very close, and we also share some things unfortunate like the sanctions, and we will continue fighting against that.
Under its engagement and re-engagement drive, government has seen the growth of bilateral and multilateral ties with countries and global groupings. Olin Ndori, ZBC News, State House.
President Emmerson Mnangagwa has consoled families affected by the recent rainfall-induced disasters across Zimbabwe. In a statement released through the Ministry of Local Government and Public Works, President Mnangagwa noted that the recent rainfall-induced disasters across Zimbabwe caused unprecedented destruction, severely affecting critical infrastructure such as schools, health facilities, homes, roads and bridges, leading to the loss of life. He added that while some regions have faced the brunt of the devastation, every area is grappling with the aftermath of floods, and as such, the Department of Civil Protection, in collaboration with the Zimbabwe Republic Police, Sub-Aqua Unit and the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, is actively engaged in search and rescue operations, highlighting the vital role of communities as first responders. The President further urged all citizens, especially those in vulnerable low-lying areas, to heed safety advisories and evacuate to safer shelters when necessary. He called on citizens to avoid open areas during storms, refrain from crossing flooded rivers and stay informed through reliable weather updates, while artisanal miners were encouraged to suspend operations until conditions stabilize to prevent tragedies.
Meanwhile, water levels in the country's major dams have shot up significantly, with national dam level average now at 87%.
Levels of the country's major dams continue to rise owing to the heavy and incessant rains being received countrywide.
Okay, owing to the rains that the country has been receiving in the past few weeks, the dam level average has risen to 86.8%. which means the dams have gained a cumulative 28% since December 2024.
The country's two largest inland water bodies, Tugwimkosi and Mutirikwi, are now spilling.
We are urging downstream communities to be on high alert, to monitor the movement of livestock, to monitor the movement of children, and to desist from crossing flooded rivers.
Dams in Matabeleland North Province have recorded the highest inflows at 66%, while Bulawayo Dams stands at 44%, and Mashonaland East Province has recorded the least at 5%. Inflows are expected to increase as more rains are still anticipated. 10 Time Nengwa, ZBC News, Harare.
Namibia's president-elect Nandi Netumbo Ndaitwah says the new SWAPO headquarters shall host a museum dedicated to the country's founding father and former president Sam Nujoma. She told thousands at the unveiling of a statue of the late president at the new SWAPO headquarters.
95 years ago, in Oceania region, northern Namibia, a young boy was born, Samuel Shifushina Daniel Nyoma. He passed on the 8th of February this month. And today the people of Namibia are giving a befitting send-off to this founder of the nation, the father of the Namibian nation, President Sam Nyoma, as he was popularly known. He has been going around all across this vast Southwest African country, and today is his last day in Namibia before tomorrow's state funeral, where heads of state and government will gather in Windhoek to say bye-bye to the founder of the Namibian nation. It is a real sad moment for Namibians as they pay respects to this revered son of the soil. He is one man who defied all odds. Never did the South African military machine thought they could be defeated by the People's Liberation Army of Namibia. It was one thing that led the people of Namibia to unite and fight apartheid South Africa, and in March 1990 they regained their uhuru.
Many people gathered at the new Southwest Africa Organization SWAPO headquarters near Katutura Township, the home of nationalism in Namibia. A statue was unveiled in honor of the founding father of the Namibian Revolution, and the president-elect Nandi Netumbo Ndaitwah spoke of the importance of a new museum at the party headquarters.
A provision was made for an office of the founding president in this building you are seeing in front of you. Now that he has departed, the office will be turned into SWAP to Sema Nyoma Museum, where we will keep his valuable party items, such as diaries, books, among others, to preserve the history.
Yes, indeed, all is set for the state funeral at the Independence Stadium in Windhoek. The President, Comrade Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, is expected to join other leaders in saying goodbye to Namibia's founding father, the late Dr. Samuel Daniel Shifushina Nyoma.
Ruben Barwe, ZBC News, Windhoek, Namibia.
SADC ministers converged in Harare for high-level ministerial roundtable dialogue that has been prioritizing the need for infrastructure development along the North-South corridor, which is a critical trade route connecting Southern Africa.
Zimbabwe is hosting the SADC ministerial meeting on transport, infrastructure, ICT and meteorology this week, bringing together ministers from the region, including Zimbabwe's Minister of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, Dr. Jenfani Muskwere, and Minister of Information, Communication Technology, Postal and Courier Services, Honorable Tatenda Maveteram. The meeting, which also includes permanent secretaries and private players, aims to review progress on programs supporting regional integration with a focus on creating an integrated network of transport, ICT, information, and meteorological services to foster economic growth and enhance the quality of life for SADC citizens. In his opening address at the SADC High-Level Ministerial Roundtable Dialogue on Infrastructure to support the North-South Corridor, the Minister of Transport and Infrastructural Development, Honorable Felix Mona, who is also the chairperson of the Joint Committee of Ministers responsible for transport, ICT, information and meteorology, emphasized the need for SADC member states to strengthen collaboration efforts to achieve regional integration and socio-economic growth.
Let us work together as partners in progress. Let us share knowledge, expertise, and forge new pathways towards sustainable infrastructure development. Let us envision a Southern African where infrastructure is not a barrier, but a bridge connecting people, ideas and opportunities. The need for improved transportation systems and access to digital connectivity promotes a region where investment in infrastructure are aligned with our sustainable development goals, ensuring that no one and no place is left behind, which is the mantra that we are running with in this beautiful country, being championed by our great leader, the President of the Republic, Comrade Dr. Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa.
SADC Deputy Executive Secretary Ms. Angela Makompo-Ntumba emphasized the importance of infrastructure development in regional integration and socio-economic growth.
The trade-carrying infrastructure and the development corridors remain the prime movers of the region's integration and overall socio-economic development. Infrastructure development, therefore, continues to receive the utmost political attention at national, regional, and global levels.
The dialogue focused on the critical role of corridors in planning frameworks for infrastructure development, regional integration, trade facilitation, and industrialization. Abigail Tembo, ZBC News, Harare.
Zimbabwe and Russia continue exchanging ideas for the development of the two countries. This came out when the Russian envoy, His Excellency Nikolai Krasilnikov, met Foreign Affairs and International Trade Minister Professor Eamon Murwira.
A high-level Zimbabwean delegation recently visited the Russian Federation with particular focus on the rehabilitation exercise at Mbari-Musika. As the two countries seek continued cooperation, the Russian envoy, His Excellency Nikolai Krasilnikov, met with Foreign Affairs and International Trade Minister Professor Eamon Murwira this Wednesday to discuss cooperation at bilateral and multilateral levels.
I had the privilege to discuss with Honorable Minister Murwira the bilateral cooperation and the coordination between Russia and Zimbabwe in the international arena. You know, our relations is on the move, and the bilateral agenda keeps us busy all the time. We started this year on a very promising note, very positive note, with a big delegation, including several ministers of the government of the Republic of Zimbabwe visiting Russia.
According to the Russian ambassador, the two deliberated on the state of relations between Russia and the United States of America since the coming into office by President Donald Trump. Olin Ndori, ZBC News, Harare.
Or elsewhere, the Minister of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, Dr. Jennifer Muswere, has clarified issues raised by parliamentarians during the second reading of the Broadcasting Services Amendment Bill in the National Assembly.
In response to the issues raised by parliamentarians during the second reading of the Broadcasting Services Amendment Bill in the National Assembly this Wednesday, Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services Minister Dr. Jennifer Muswere indicated that broadcasting license holders and directors of broadcasting entities must be citizens, a move aimed at fostering media sovereignty.
No person other than a citizen of Zimbabwe shall be a director of a licensee. This, Madam Speaker, relates to the territorial integrity and sovereignty of a nation. In the media sector is a very sensitive security issue which can create a lot of instability in any nation. So, by virtue of that, there won't be any amendments to this particular section.
Minister Muswere strongly defended the reduction in the number of Broadcasting Authority of Zimbabwe BAS board members.
Why do we propose to terms of the cases? Usually, the people superintending over a total employee composition of not more than 40 people. The size of the organization should reflect the size in terms of the board of directors, who have the fiduciary responsibility to be in charge of the organization. Otherwise, we'll end up having an institution with more board members than the actual employees that work for the regulatory authority.
Dr. Muswere revealed plans to introduce additional radio stations at the national broadcaster ZBC.
Workers in terms of the radio studios that reflect on the constitutionally recognized languages in Zimbabwe, based at Montrose Studios, and we have an additional 6 in terms of the constitution, which makes up to 16 in terms of the recognition in terms of our languages. The 6 will be based in Harare, and there's an expansion effort.
The minister also delved into the role of community radio stations in the coverage of political issues.
Section 20 of the Broadcasting Services Act is very clear that no political party or organization shall hold or have control of any broadcasting license or signal carrier license. So we don't want to politicize these community radio stations. They have a clear mandate, platforms for political activities, but community to ensure that there's heritage-based broadcasting in order to support and protect our local languages.
The broadcasting services seeks to make it mandatory.
First Lady Dr. Xulia Mnangagwa's Angel of Hope donated a consignment mission to vulnerable communities, touch the lives of vulnerable groups, which has drawn the attention of philanthropists in Australia with disability former unities. Thread to distribution to the needy. Donated close a video clip that was beamed said to impact programs easier.
I have visited some, I visited some, I think no countries looks beautiful. No countries looks beautiful. That's a big area. That's a big area relative to places like Africa, where they live. A big area relative to places like Africa, where they live. Relative to places like Africa, where they live. We have up north or underwater. We have up north or underwater. We do a lot of work to a lot of people up north or underwater. We do a lot of work to a lot of people that have been impacted. We do a lot of work to a lot of people that have been impacted by new arrivals to the country.
The initiative will boost the already running programs being undertaken by Amem Mnangagwa through the Angel of Hope Foundation to cushion vulnerable groups. In her acceptance speech, Dr. Mnangagwa expressed gratitude to Thread Together CEO, highlighting that the donation will go a long way in
family home. They're doing a great job here.
It is the first time that I've seen the importance of the work being done by the Angel of Hope Foundation. Amem Mnangagwa victims of gender-based violence. The donation by Thread Together speaks volumes about how the Mother of the Nation has touched many hearts through a philanthropic work. It is www.zbcnews.
Facebook,
we're on X,
formerly Twitter. You can just go to ZBC News Online and you should be able to find more information there. You can just go to ZBC News Online and you should be able to find more information there.
Indeed. And the track owing to price stability.
And we'll also be taking And we'll also be taking a look at your sport. The Kasalaga Premier Soccer League takes it.
Stroke of genius! Stroke of genius and Rukureva Chira. President E.D. Mnangagwa vari kupa bankable, registrable and transferable title deeds na every farmer akapuwa munda pa land reform program. Takanga takapuwa minda asi takanga tisina simba rekupinda mumabhengi semama womabhizinesi vamwe tutupuwe maloni takutodevelopa mafamu.
Saka kuduza kuti land yese yatoneva
ende ukapuwa title deed iroro chira mundu wako uchatoreki yatora nhaka yevazukuru nevazukuru ndo zvinoda fama manje izvozvo security of tenure. President E.D. Mnangagwa igenius manje vakabva vati kuti zvinyatofamba negwara rakatwasanuka zviri transparent ndobva vagadza inonzi
but iwo unozviziva iwo kuti kune maland barons akazara ukanofamba minda dzevanhu
dai vatoregera zvavo ndiwo kopo usiri kudiwa napresident Mnangagwa iroro ndosaka land tenure implementation committee yakati ngatishandisei ma-ID numbers namba dzepachitupa kuti munhu haakwanisi kuva nemafamu maviri plus land tenure iyi committee haisi kupa minda patsvayo iri kutwasanudza pakupiwa kwema-title deeds.
Iwe saka zvichida kuti taatoprotected kasevarimi.
Exactly manje.
Aiwa vaiti vakona. Aiwa president.
Ukanzwa kuti une stroke of genius here. President idi apa vasikira vana veZimbabwe upfumi.
Ivanoya ukochiti stroke kwaje.
Step up with DSTV and we'll show up by giving you more incredible entertainment.
Going to have a little fun.
Upgrade your subscription between the 13th of January and the 31st of March and get an even higher package for a whole month on us.
To the back of the net!
There's nothing better than putting a little bit in but getting a lot out.
This is the time to take risks.
Incredible!
I've heard good things about you. Don't let me down.
Step up and we'll show up on your home of entertainment, DSTV.
Thank you for staying with us. You're still watching the main news. The Second Republic is tightening accountability and transparency within central government operations, with deputy ministers, deputy secretaries and public service commissioners set to sign performance contracts with effect from this year.
As Zimbabwe strives to achieve Vision 2030 and respond to the diverse needs of our citizens, performance contracting emerges as a strategic approach that aligns our efforts with the priorities of our government.
Reaffirming a program targeted to strengthen the capacity of government and increase accountability, the Chief Secretary to the President and Cabinet, Dr. Martin Rushwaya, engaged deputy ministers, deputy secretaries and commissioners at an induction workshop convened in Kadoma this Thursday. The focus of the engagement was to prepare the officials on performance contracts, a mandatory initiative that will now rate the performance of deputy ministers.
Accountability is the barometer for entrenching a market-facing and people-centered government, is always espoused by His Excellency the President. Honorable Deputy Ministers, Commissioners and Deputy Chief Secretaries, as you perform your daily duties, you are expected to drive the implementation of the national vision. Your responsibilities are multifaceted and your success will be measured by the impact you will make in the lives of Zimbabweans.
Government records, performance contracting and service delivery are critical for enhanced public administration and governance.
Through performance contracting, you are now part of a framework where the results of your work are not only seen but measured. They say what gets measured gets done.
Since its launch by President Emmerson Mnangagwa in 2021, performance contracting continues to post significant traction and is a critical pedestal in driving accountability. The Public Service Commission says the system improves service delivery by aligning individual goals with larger national objectives.
There is no better time than now to convene and deliberate on the critical issue of performance contracting. We find ourselves at a pivotal juncture, transitioning, as we heard earlier, from NDS 1 to NDS 2. A shift that necessitates a reinforced focus on accountability and on measurable impact.
Performance contracting is lauded as a pivotal monitoring tool on public officials to ensure delivery of quality service, efficiency in operations, as well as accountability to public expectations. Theophilus Chuma, ZBC News, Kadoma.
Well, for now, let's cross over to our Montreal studios where Marilyn Gwenya is on standby with more news. Marilyn?
Good evening and many thanks to you, Butler and Joyce. In our following report, government and its developmental partners are taking an integrated approach on agricultural productivity as a way of cushioning communities from the shocks of the El Nino-induced drought experienced last year.
Officials from both the government and developmental partners this Wednesday visited Lingwe village in Matobo district of Matabeleland South province to appreciate progress made in the implementation of some agricultural projects and their impact to communities.
The water is really helping us a lot because we have a nutrition garden.
where we grow our vegetables, where we feed the learners, and that also improves the attendance.
Njalo sesikwanisa ukuthi silimele izimuli zethu ku-nutrition garden le sayiphiwayo silimele izimuli zethu ukudla kulemsoco sidle.
Country representatives of the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, UNICEF and others said they are ready to complement government efforts to alleviate hunger in various communities.
It's an integrated program that integrates WASH, agriculture and nutrition services. And as we've seen, access to water is critical for agriculture, is critical for nutrition.
This region being really impacted by climate change, it was important that through this resilience program, we help the communities to improve not only their livelihood but also to improve their conditions through the activities.
Matabeleland South is actually an animal producing region, and we are encouraging that these deep tanks, once they are rehabilitated, we will not lose a number of animals.
The government says the various project sites toured demonstrated the success of an integrated approach to agricultural activities in the country.
We are actually practicing now Education 5.0, where the children have got access to water.
The smart farming practices to get inputs have guaranteed food security at household level.
Zimbabwe is fast becoming a hub of investments, with the United States attesting to the country's economic potential.
Speaking on the sidelines of the ongoing 3-day United States Exchange Alumni Summit in Victoria Falls, American Chamber of Commerce in Zimbabwe chairperson James Oliver attributed the coming in of the new dispensation in the southern African country as the turning point.
I think the current administration is making it much more conducive to do business here. I'll give you an example. Zeta has been a wonderful asset for us as we begin to get started, helping us navigate the special economic zones, even Vic Falls, through the special opportunities that are here. So organizations like Zeta, I think, have made the investment process much easier.
Oliver's sentiments were also echoed by the U.S. Ambassador to Zimbabwe, Her Excellency Pamela Tremont, who is prioritizing attracting more investment into Harare.
Since I got here, I've really been focused on improving the investment climate. Everybody I meet says, why are there not more American companies here? Why aren't people investing in all these opportunities? And so as soon as I hit the ground, I immediately started wondering that myself. Why is that? And of course, improving the investment climate to attract more, not just U.S. businesses, but businesses from around the world.
With its rich natural resources, improving business climate and strategic location, Zimbabwe is poised to become a hub for investors. Tichaona Kurewa, ZBC News, Victoria Falls.
The Midlands province is harnessing drone technology to combat the fall armyworm menace, with the Kwekwe farmer upbeat of accruing huge yields per hectare despite the outbreak of the agricultural pest.
The incessant rains currently being experienced across the country have come as a blessing in disguise, as they have raised the hopes of a good harvest. Kwekwe farmer Mrs. Ravasingadi Marijuana, whose 100-hectare maize crop has reached the milking stage, is anticipating an average of 10 tons per hectare after practicing good agronomic practices, with the use of drone technology coming in handy in dealing with the menacing fall armyworm.
Kuti chibage chedu changa chakura zvokuti boom spray ranga risakwanisi kuti ripinde, asi nedrone zvakaita zvakanaka, tikatoona kuti problem yatanga taanayo yemakonye
Government has encouraged farmers to embrace the use of technology to derive maximum benefits from their crops.
100 hectares dzinokwanisa kusprayiwa dzichipera in one day. Uyetanzwa kuti drone iro rinokwanisa kutakura 32 liters yechemical. Saka kurova kuti one taakuti zvava faster kuspraya nzvimbo dzinga dzakakura tichiuraya for armyworm.
Government has since acquired 10 drones which were distributed countrywide for the application of different pesticides, as the Second Republic continues to capacitate farmers with a view to guaranteeing food security beginning at household level. Tafara Chikumira, ZBC News, Kwekwe.
And that's it for myself, Marilyn Gonya, and the Montrose crew for tonight. Butler is on standby with more news. Butler, it's back to you.
Great. Thanks a lot, Marilyn. Great to see you as always. Now, Jida Mohammed of Chad has been elected as the 4th Vice President of the Pan-African Parliament PAP in an election that was held in Midrand, South Africa today.
Honorable Jida Mama Mohammed retained his position as the 4th Vice President of the Pan-African Parliament after a unanimous vote, a race which saw Honorable Anita Ndayizeye of Burundi pulling out.
The elections for the 4th Vice President proceeded very, very well. The vacancy arose as a result of the former 4th Vice President who went for elections in his country in Chad. And in terms of the rules and the protocol of the Pan-African Parliament, once a member goes for elections in their country, which means the national parliament is dissolved before or after elections. But that dissolution means you are no longer a member of Pan-African Parliament. You are no longer a bureau member, whether president or vice president. And we held the elections today for that position.
The incoming member of the Bureau says he is re-energized to push for Africa's progress.
I want to work for development, for unity for Pan-African Parliament, for economic Pan-African Parliament, for agriculture for Africa. I am here for all the people of Africa.
This development set against the evolving backdrop of Africa's dynamic political landscape underscores the Pan-African Parliament's enduring commitment to democratic governance, regional unity and sustainable development across the continent. Wellington Makonese, ZBC News, Midrand.
A ZANU-PF Women's League Harare Province has unveiled a 2025 rebranded empowerment work plan. More than 150,000 chickens have been secured for distribution to women regardless of political affiliation.
Hundreds of women from all Harare districts gathered at the ZANU-PF Harare provincial office this Thursday, where their leadership announced a rebranded work plan for 2025 aimed at uplifting the welfare of women across the province. Speaking at the event, the National Secretary for External Affairs in the ZANU-PF Women's League, Comrade Betty Kaseke, emphasized the League's commitment to ensure that no one and no place is left behind in the national empowerment drive.
We have a project which we have also started, and this project, it's a poultry project where we are helping our business women of our party and even those from other political parties that they should be empowered. So we have started that poultry project where they are buying chickens at $1 for 2. So far in Harare we have put about more than 150,000 chickens, day-old chickens.
The acting chairperson for Harare Province Women's League, Comrade Barbara Mwale, stated that the league is prepared to incorporate views from women on income-generating projects of their choice.
Program iri kukurudzirwa nababa wedu Mnangagwa kuti mudzimai wese ngaaimpowiwe, muyuthi wese, munhu wese hapana anofana kusara kumashure.
Women interviewed on the sidelines of the event thanked President Emmerson Mnangagwa for creating women empowerment opportunities.
Taba pa NDS2 iko zvino yave upfuma yedunga munhu sesu madzimai tonzi chigarai zvakanaka. Pachizowanikwa maprograms akafanana nehuku atiri kupiwa.
Mumwe nemumwe akuenda kunoita zvaanoita pamba pake. Takunosumudzirana manje kuti mumwe nemumwe achiita chimaproject atiri kupiwa iwaya nemukuru wenyika.
The ZANU-PF Women's League 2025 rebranded work is expected to provide the much-needed impetus for women to achieve an upper middle income society status by 2030. Tendai Munengwa, ZBC News, Harare.
Now, a number of key people-centered programs are being implemented across various sectors of the economy as Zimbabwe and China continue to collaborate in the changing global dynamics.
Following the 2024 Forum on China-Africa Cooperation FOCAC Summit held in China last year, the two countries are looking forward to implementing some of the key agreements that were penned under the five-star ironclad cooperation framework. These included politics, economic and trade, security, people-to-people, and international affairs cooperation. Speaking on the sidelines of a lecture on Zimbabwe-China relations at the Zimbabwe National Defense University this Thursday, Chinese ambassador to Zimbabwe, His Excellency Zhong Ding, highlighted some of the engagements already in motion.
Technology transfer is very, very important. So we have, in the past years, we have not only supported Zimbabwe with a crucial infrastructure project. In the health sector, we helped Zimbabwe to build quite a few hospitals, clinics, and medical facilities. But at the same time, we also facilitate Zimbabwe doctors, nurses, medical staff to go to study and exchange experience with their Chinese counterparts.
Zimbabwe and China partnerships have witnessed key infrastructural developments that include expansion of the Robert Gabriel Mugabe International Airport, Hwange Thermal and Kariba South hydropower stations expansion projects, the National Pharmaceutical Warehouse and construction of the new Parliament building in Mount Hamden. Memory Chamisa, ZBC News, Harare.
We're off to a break. Join us shortly for business news.
Uchichaka kwekuyenda nekamarike kuspenga Zimbabwe, 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 travel Zimbabwe.
This Valentine's Day, gift your loved one an experience beyond words. Imagine strolling down the serene Binga Beach with your soulmate, listening to the waves of the lake hitting the shore, or exploring a charming hidden village, witnessing its beauty, experiencing traditional gastronomy, or simply savoring delicious meals in the heart of a bustling city, creating memories every step of the way. Nestled within the rugged heart of nature's splendor, your picnic unfurled upon a rocky outcrop, cradled between the sky and the earth, witnessing breathtaking sunsets together. This Valentine, travel with your special someone, discover new places, make memories, and fall in love all over again. Plan your romantic getaway now and let your heart lead the way. Travel and experience Zimbabwe this Valentine.
Zimbabwe, 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 everybody gets a call.
Yes guys, nasi ndafunga kuenda kumusha. Ndimbo spend time with family rangu. Davu ndapenda mu chicken buzz. Munoizere chicken buzz. Chicken buzz.
Kangoma jorwaga uya zvewe. Kwai wakabva Joni, angonese Jojedi.
Vate vasina grocery.
Ndi joro kumashops. Hayi obvious apana chaidzuka nacho nenungo dziri pape ungazinze ngoro negrocery pape.
Anga vangozara manene.
Kuna chiri kuzo.
Ndavo ndaona mblazi mubazi. Anotaurisa munhu uyu.
Indonzi Lee.
Tats.
Uruboko.
Australia.
Alright. Kana tiwazimutwana kunana kutengesa unozungutsvaga zvantu.
Sei.
Dzatatohama kudai sei.
Okay, bro. Alright. Tubasi.
Why is it cats?
Tats.
Oh, tats.
Guys, ndaona munhu achitengesa chibage. And I haven't had chibage in maybe 10 years. Dikati. Imari chibage. $40. Munotora iko Ken? Alright.
0773 426 300.
Alright. Yaita here.
Yaita, thank you.
Guys, chiri kunuwirira. Ndazosvika kumusha manje.
Joy after joy.
Welcome back. Zimbabwe's economic growth agenda is on track, with February figures reflecting progress towards stable prices and increased consumer spending.
According to data from the Zimbabwe National Statistics Agency, Zimbabwe gold inflation for February dropped by 10 percentage points to 0.5%, with the United States dollar inflation rate also falling by an average of the same margins. The agency states that the trend means prices, as measured by the all items consumer price index, increased by an average of 0.5% between January 2025 and February this year. The drop in the inflation rate has set the tone for a promising outlook on price stability.
The drop in inflation that we have seen in February is a direct result of the outstanding control of money supply by the central bank. We are very optimistic that this tight control of money supply will persist for the balance of the year.
The fall in inflation is also attributed to the tighter monetary policy stance.
This trajectory demonstrates the efficacy of the tight monetary policy stance, which is occasioned by the control of money supply, effectively control of money supply growth in the economy. And money supply growth in the past has mainly been responsible for driving price and exchange rate volatilities.
Analysts reviewed that price stability will continue if the authorities guard against global shocks, curtail excessive liquidity, and maintain a predictable exchange rate regime. The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe, RBZ, is confident inflation will continue to drop and is projecting the monthly rate to average 3% or less this year. Stanley James, ZBC News, Harare.
And that report from Stanley James. I'll look at business news. When we come back, we'll look at sport.
The University of Zimbabwe opened applications for August 2025 undergraduate enrollment from the 10th of February to the 15th of March 2025. The institution is offering a broad and comprehensive range of undergraduate programs that are designed towards equipping graduates with the critical skills necessary for the development of the nation. These exciting programs are offered from the 11 faculties of the university, which represent the key sectors of the economy. These are faculties of Agriculture, Environment and Food Systems, Arts and Humanities, Business Management Sciences and Economics, Computer Engineering, Informatics and Communications, Education, Engineering and the Built Environment, Law, Medicine and Health Sciences, Science, Social and Behavioral Sciences, Veterinary Science. In addition, the University of Zimbabwe will be moving across the country to offer advisory services and facilitate application processes for the convenience of the public. Prospective students can visit any of the following centers to access these services. Details of application requirements and procedure are accessed on the UZ website www.uz.ac.zw and the Sunday Mail of the 9th of February 2025. Kuziva kugona nekuita. The University of Zimbabwe, educating to change lives.
Want to elevate your entertainment? Then add Showmax to your DSTV subscription at a discount. Showmax is not a TV channel. It's an on-demand video streaming service on Showmax.com. To add Showmax to your DSTV subscription, simply use the My DSTV app. Select Add Showmax. The app screen will display the discount you qualify for. Now you can enjoy exclusive shows and movies you won't find anywhere else. Add Showmax to elevate your entertainment.
Well, the countdown started on Monday when the PSL fixtures were released, and now looks like we're all set to go. New Boys Scotland FC starting their Premier Soccer League campaign with a date against league returnees Triangle at Rufaro Stadium on Friday.
The Mavuku-based side made waves in the off-season after acquiring championship-winning coach Tondrain Duraya and other marquee players. Scotland allured some of the best players to their camp, including reigning soccer star of the year Watermsona, last year's top goal scorer Linoth Chukua and Kama Billiat, among others. The new boys are eager to prove their pedigree, but their first hurdle is a Triangle, tutored by self-proclaimed Doctor of Football Lok Amasomere. It will be the exuberance of Scotland versus the experience of Triangle, that is, veterans including the likes of Tawanika Msoko. The clash set for Rufaro Stadium will open the 2025 Premier Soccer League that is expected to end in November. On Saturday, defending champions Zimbabwe host FC Platinum at Wadzanai Stadium in arguably the match of the round. The former champions were the only team to beat Zimbabwe at Wadzanai, and the Shamba-based side will be plotting revenge, but the defending champions are a much-changed outfit after losing a number of key players. On the same day, Herentals hosted Tier 1 at Rufaro Stadium. Manika Diamonds take on Yada Isakuva, with the New Boys Akwekwe United locking horns with Ngezi Platinum Stars at Bada Stadium. Caps United make the journey to Sumbanje for a date against Green Fuel in the final match of the day. Sunday sees Dynamos taking on the PC Caribbean at Rufaro, while Moors are at Highlanders at Baobab Stadium. Lawrence Tuseda, ZBC News, Harare.
A former athlete and National University of Science and Technology graduate, Nyasha Charandura, has challenged local sports coaches to embrace sports science to enhance performance. Charandura was speaking on the sidelines of the Sports Science Masterclass that is currently on in Harare.
Zimbabwe has been lagging behind in sports science, and very few football teams and athletes are embracing the new concept. However, major sports consultancy believes if the country is to improve results and protect the welfare of athletes, they need to embrace the new concept, especially in the fourth industrial revolution. Nyasha Chandrandura, a former athlete and a professional sports scientist, is facilitating the sports science masterclass to try and bridge the gap between Zimbabwe and other developing countries.
We had to bring to our coaches to start practicing to be part of the fourth industrial revolution, which uses mainly wearable technologies and AI to load. Of late, it was a no pain, no gain. Players are being just loaded. We had many injuries. Many players have lost their careers, but it's better careers, but sometimes it's their lives. So when we deal with polar and artificial intelligence, we say it's better to lose a career than to lose a life.
The participants, who are all drawn from across the sporting sector, are appreciative of the valuable lessons.
Training is teaching us to move from the old system of football. So you have to know the was like umdlalo webhora, and then there's a new technology that is coming up, e-polar. Then you are getting to know how to use e-polar, of which is going to be a good advantage to our coaches.
We have been lacking in terms of data and information. We are living in the fourth industrial era now, so everything has to be a little bit digital.
Into ngizifundela lapha ngifuna ukuthi lami ngiyezi equip abafana be force, and I've learned ukuthi ibhora these days is $1 billion industry, so we have to take care of it.
Tinofana kuziya ama players edu kuti culture trainer atifana kualoada. Tinofana pa players edu rest, and my players alifana ku resta, more sleeping, nutrition.
Charandura has been working as a sports science coach for Azam Football Club, as well as consulting for Tanzania Football Federation for the past 7 years. According to the International Federation of Football History and Statistics, IAAFHS, the Tanzanian Premier League is ranked as the fourth strongest on the continent. Lawrence Tusida, ZBC News, Harare.
Well, there's now a golf academy in Mutare, and it has been welcomed by many residents who see it as in part of opening up of opportunities for residents and students to learn the sport code. Let's get more from Kenya's Chivushi.
While golf is considered an elite sport by many, the establishment of a golf academy in Mutare is being appreciated by the local community, with persons with disabilities among the beneficiaries of the new development.
So I came here to learn golf. So I thank you for the opportunity for me to play here. I want to thank the opportunity that I've been given to participate here.
Students from surrounding schools are already dreaming to become famous golfers in future, with educationists having a firm belief that the academy will unlock potential among the youths.
I really want to appreciate the Eve Golf Club for giving us such an opportunity.
It's now my ambition. I would like to become a famous golfer one day.
We are able to unlock potential through this academy, and it is my hope and trust that we are going to have famous queens.
Golf Academy administrators revealed that the sports academy is open to both the young and the old in order to give residents an opportunity to become amateur or professional golfers.
Our aim is to train anyone who loves golf to be a golfer. We found out at 4 years, one will be able to handle that club.
There's a general misconception that golf is for the rich or for the minority. So by opening this academy, we have to encourage talent and also make sure that even the underprivileged, they also have got the opportunity to play the sport.
Residents believe that if such projects are replicated across the country, Zimbabwe can position itself to become a golf powerhouse in Africa. Kenya's Chivuje, ZBC News, Mutari.
Great stuff. Thanks a lot. That report from Kenya's Chivuje, rounding off our look at sport and also bringing us to the end of this bulletin. It's been great having you along.
And it's good night.
My name is Dr. Elijah Nyakujika. I am the Dean of the Faculty of Agriculture, Environment and Food Systems. The University of Zimbabwe is a premier institution of higher learning. The mandate of the faculty is that it is known for sustainable agricultural and food systems for food and nutrition security. The Faculty of Agriculture, Environment and Food Systems is unique in that it offers relevant and diverse programs. We want to capacitate our students to be able to design and manufacture parts, equipment and so forth, and that will help the country in cutting the import bill. We are producing breeders, and the breeding is of paramount importance because you get innovations from there, and innovations bring money. We are taking agriculture as a business, and the uniqueness is that we are getting equipping our students with the skills that will enable them to work on value chains. We are producing graduates that have the capacity to address issues related to land. Land degradation is a problem. These graduates will be able to address that.
Welcome to the Faculty of Agriculture, Environment and Food Systems.